Hey guys, it's Kayla back with my thoughts on the latest episodes of Oxygen, the series. I want to get right into this video because I actually have a lot of positive things to say, among some doubts I've been having as well. But let's start, shall we? So before we talk about episodes 4, 5, and 6, I want to bring up a thought that many of you guys shared in the last video. And that's how fast Solo and Guitar's relationship is progressing. I completely agree that these two developed feelings for each other seemingly overnight. After reflecting on that initial scene in episode 1 where they meet at the coffee shop, I get the inclination that the director meant to portray this meeting as them falling in love at first sight. Now, I could be totally off, maybe that wasn't their intention at all, but you can't deny that something was being portrayed through that extended eye contact, whether it was attraction or just fascination. Even taking this into consideration, I still think their sense of familiarity with each other was a bit rushed. They became very touchy-feely and all or nothing after only a few encounters. If any novel readers can shed some light on the pacing of their relationship or the series in general, please tell us how things compare in the comments down below. The part that kind of bothers me when it comes to both pacing and storytelling is how these random conflicts keep being presented in order to help progress Solo and Guitar's relationship, but none of them are holding any consequence. So for example, the whole situation with Solo's blackmail. Guitar comes to his rescue as he's moments away from being sexually assaulted on camera, and while this does bring them closer together and builds trust between them, it's never addressed after that episode. It's as if it didn't even happen. I suspect this has to do with time constraints and filming limitations, but something about the way it was handled just doesn't sit right with me. I think we can all agree that taking a piece of literature and adapting it into a visual format is hard. A lot goes into it, and one major aspect of the process is figuring out which plot points are crucial to the overall storyline. Was Solo's blackmail necessary for plot progression? Would his relationship with Guitar have gone any differently without this conflict? I personally don't think so. They've had plenty of scenes that do a far better job at conveying their reliance on each other and the consequences of being together. But I'll end this point by saying, if you're going to introduce a conflict, then show the effects it has on the characters. Give it a reason for existing, or don't include it at all. What do you guys think is a believable time frame for two characters to fall in love? Does it depend on episode number or the level of affection that's being shown on screen? So jumping into episode 4, I was immediately skeptical of this new character named Kay. Judging by his words and actions thus far, I feel like he's very manipulative and driven by jealousy. Although Guitar is upfront when telling him that he only sees him as a friend, I doubt he'll accept this rejection as the final answer. However, if we're following this pattern of quick conflict resolution, then maybe it'll be like he never had a crush on him in the first place. Moving on, I want to talk a little about Kim and her diagnosis of chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. I was taken aback by this because COPD is a disease that you would usually contract from years of chain smoking or working in a coal mine or poorly ventilated space. Right now, we don't know too much about Kim's past, but if I'm being honest, I don't see the connection between this diagnosis and her lifestyle. Aside from that, I did sympathize a little with her character because she's in this hospital by herself, receiving treatment for a disease that could be fatal, while her brother is off playing video games and just failing to comprehend the seriousness of her condition. Luckily, Dr. Petch is such a good guy that I think even if he didn't have feelings for her, he would stay by her side. I did find it heartwarming to see Kim's brother step up and get a job at the cafe after being lectured by said doctor. I want to see more of him and his sister working together because sibling relationships are a factor in dramas that I'm really drawn to. Okay, I have to say this. I love Cal. I was thoroughly impressed by this scene where he's in the classroom with Fu and he confronts these bullies that are mocking them. He doesn't care that they're his seniors. He isn't afraid of their threats. He's so self-assured that he won't take shit from anybody. It's not every day that we see a character who's ready to fight a homophobe at any given minute. In fact, I advocate for more characters who choose violence when faced with discrimination. While we're analyzing this scene, I was pleasantly surprised when Fu didn't pull away from Cao and instead locked pinkies with him. Because of his stoic personality, I didn't think he would let his guard down in front of others, but I guess Cao is his exception. We love a tsundere character. My one big critique of episodes 4 through 5 is the direction that Dr. Perth's storyline is going in, because it seems like he's susceptible to becoming that gay character that ends up alone. Right now, we know that Dr. Petch likes Kim, but is pretending to like Dr. Perth so that Kim will spend more time with him, since she's a Fujoshi. And through it all, Dr. Petch makes it known to Dr. Perth that he's faking his feelings towards him to get closer to Kim. The good news is, Dr. Perth stands up for himself and refuses to be used in these antics. And so now I'm wondering if he'll end up changing his mind since he does have a soft spot for Dr. Petch, or if he'll remain strong in his conviction. I really hope it's the latter. When it comes to BL dramas, I feel like 95% of the problems that characters face could be solved if they would just communicate. That being said, I was a bit worried that Solo and Guitar were going to fall into this category. After all, Solo has secrets, but in the end, he disclosed everything. How he confronted the man who was taking photos of them, his father's threats and disapproval of their relationship, and even who Jay is and the role he played in his life growing up. This last scene of episode 6, in my opinion, was the best we've seen so far. Not only did Solo and Guitar have a much-needed conversation, but Guitar affirmed his devotion to Solo by asking him to be his boyfriend with Jay as his witness. It was in this moment that we saw how determined Guitar is to be with Solo no matter what it might cost him. For a while there, I wasn't that invested in this main couple, but after finding out just how much is being risked between the two of them, and seeing how Solo's father is being set up as the antagonist, I'm here and excited for all the family drama. Anyway, those are my thoughts on episodes 4 through 6 of Oxygen. We're about halfway through the series, so hopefully it really starts to pick up. Thank you to the moon and back for watching, and thank you for 15K. We are small but mighty. Please take care of yourselves in the coming weeks, and we'll discuss more once episode 9 airs. But for now, have the best day possible, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.